Welcome back to another episode of Profitable Publishing. I'm your host, Ashley, and I am going to help you to package your expertise into a profitable book. Now, today we have an amazing case study with one of my favorite mentees, I should say. She's one of my former coaching clients, and she was able to generate $4,000 in pre-orders in 4 hours. Now, a couple episodes ago, back on episode 5, I introduced you to another author who did $4,000 in 4 weeks, but today's author did that in 4 hours. And not to do the comparison or anything like that, but this is just to kind of stretch you and help you to understand that it's possible for you to have similar success. Of course, results may vary, but I want to just encourage you. And so today we have author Veronica Moore, and she's using the same strategies that I share in my book, Profitable Publishing with Preorders. And she was able to do this through launching and generating that income through pre-sales. So take a listen. And if you want to understand my entire pre-order framework, pre-order process, then I encourage you to join my live challenge that will be happening at the end of March at the time of this recording. And you can do that by visiting preorderprofits.com, and you can get on the wait list to be able to join us there. Now let's take a listen to Veronica's story of being a first-time author that generated $4,000 in pre-orders in 4 hours. Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to talk about your progress that you've had since we've worked together and just to reflect on our time spent. So let's start off from before we began. So what was your biggest struggle before you started working with us?
Getting started, not overthinking the process and just allowing for the beauty of the reason why we decide to author books in the first place be the main focus of why it was that I was creating, right? My first children's book. So for me, it was like, all right, Veronica, stop coming up with all of these different reasons about how something wouldn't work, how it's not going to work, and really focus your attention on getting this book done, learning all that you can about the self-publishing process and utilizing the tools and the resources to equip and prepare me for when it's time to launch. So those were the major things.
So what issues were you running into during that process before you started using the launch strategies and the pre-sale strategies that I share?
Finding accurate information that was concise to the point and digestible. There's a lot of fluff out there on the internet. There are lots of individuals who are not providing valuable information. And so you just really have to find the individuals who are passionate about helping authors be successful on their author and self-publishing journey. And so for me, it was like sifting through all of the information that's out there and finding the ones that would be applicable to what it is that I wanted to do and experience as an author. And so, of course, going through your blog and finding all of the things and the tidbits, quick takeaways, Ashley is bringing it. And I'm right. I love learning. I'm a lifelong learner. So I really enjoy information that is concise but thorough, and gives me steps along the way on how to actually do something.
Perfect. Well, thank you. Glad that you've been able to find good stuff and the free stuff. I tell people that I'm like, there's so much stuff out there that I have on YouTube, my blog, social media,
Mhm.
that if you just use the free stuff, you can get results that get you paid. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
how did working with us change your journey as an author?
For me, it really changed my mindset on like what was possible, right? So I think that we shared this many different times when you did your training for our author group, but really just understanding I was doing some of the things that you teach already. Now that I know that that's strategy, it was putting the information that I obtained from the different trainings that were available to us and the mastermind that you put together on now what, right? I was given the information that I needed to be aware of what the next steps were. Oh, Veronica, you're doing these things. You're launching. You just don't know you're launching. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm launching. I guess I am launching. So it was like, oh, so what I'm doing by being very authentic and genuine in story sharing with those who decide to follow me on this journey, it really did allow for me to continue on that path, right? So it was like now that I knew that I was launching, I didn't change anything up in terms of like, oh, so now you have to add all these complicated things to it. I love the fact that you really encourage us to be ourselves, to showcase the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? To allow for people to see who we are behind our author journeys and our self-publishing journeys so that they can connect right, to the person who's actually doing the things. So I really, really enjoyed the process of knowing what it is that I was doing, continuing that, but then jumping out on the ledge and being like, all right, so you want me to do what? Actually, you want me to put it out for how long for free to do? But it was really good information, right? Trust the process, know that you're not going to share anything with me that would be detrimental to a self-publishing author journey, and just having that information in terms of launching and sharing the behind the scenes, sharing the process, and then also preparing people for what that pre-sale situation might look like, giving the book out for free, right? Because those who are going to buy it regardless. So really just walking through with you to overcome some of those self-limiting beliefs that I have for me on what was possible. Your girl won. So I was like, I'm going to listen. Y'all better listen to Ashley and what she be telling y'all to do, because it's helpful. We implement the things that you teach, we see the results that we want. And sometimes we have to navigate and shift our approaches, and that's okay too. But as long as we're able to take in the information and do something with it, apply it, I think that anybody can see results that make the most sense for them and meet their goals.
Right. And that's huge because everybody's goal is different. Some people, they just want to get the book out. Some people like, no, I need to make all my money back. Other people like, I need to make $10,000. Well, we're going to have to work a little longer, but we can get to that goal.
Right.
And so awesome. That's helpful for me to hear what is beneficial for you. And then also, I'm sure other authors will be impacted by that too, because I was telling Vanity that she had mentioned in the group one time that you and her were talking actually, and she had said, like, Ashley tells you to do something and you're like, I don't know about that. And then at the end, you're like, well, why didn't I listen? I try to pick things that are efficient, effective, and also realistic, because I understand people have things going on, business owner, and you have family. And so just trying to get it down to what's the most important is key.
And I think I love the fact that you are it's very customizable. You're not telling us to do things that another author would do that doesn't make sense for us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like choosing the things and the strategies that will work for our lifestyles, that will work for our personalities. Like you said, you tell me something and I'm going to be like, what is it? What's the steps? I'm going to do it, right? Where you have some other authors, that's just not how they operate, right? So you to give me instructions when we talk to each other. You're like, Veronica, do this, 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 and this. And I'm like, right.
Yeah, and you're great about running with it. So I'm like, you're a great student in terms of just implementation, because that's the biggest thing that really holds people back is they knowledge hoard. And I'm guilty of it too in some seasons. Yep. We just absorb, and we never actually implement and do the thing. And it's like, you're never going to get the results. You're never going to be able to know whether or not it works if you don't actually try to do the thing. Mm-hmm. So that I think has been a testament to why you have had the success that you've had, because you're willing to go and do the thing.
Thank you.
Welcome. So I'll talk about the success and the wins. I'm gonna let you share. So what are some of your biggest wins that you've had that you feel comfortable sharing as a result of using the strategies or the trainings that you've gotten from me?
Yeah, absolutely. So once I realized that I was launching, right, I think for me, I continued to do that. And it was a couple of months. I would say that I launched for almost an entire year, more like months. But anyway, from me saying that I was going to write the book in March to when the pre-sale link came out in October, I sold during the pre-sale period over 270 books. And so very close, a couple thousand away from 10,000 in sales from my pre-sale situation. So I'm really excited about that. I did 500 pre-sale, decided to order 500 copies of the book initially. All of those are accounted for and gone. Probably gave away maybe 30 of those books, and the rest of them have been sold, right? Whether they've been individual orders or book orders for plant shops and things of that nature. So I'm really excited about that success. I've been able to really provide opportunities for local students to meet an author, which they have not been able to do. Really working with the underserved population here. That's really been a great opportunity for me to just spend time with the community in that aspect and give back, right? As an author who they have access to and that is within reach, right? That they live within the community that they reside, or they're at least 15 to 20 minutes away. So that's been really great to be able to interact with the community in that way also. And a lot of things that I've been doing in terms of sharing during that launch process has given me a lot of exposure through the media and things of that nature. So I have been on the news. I have been on different interviews and special guest appearances locally in the community. Also been on the cover of a food magazine. It's a food magazine, but it's really very much so tied to the storyline behind the book. And so I know that if I was not sharing during that launch process and that launch phase, that the editor of that magazine would not have seen me for the story, first and foremost. They would not have seen value in what it is that I provided in terms of adding to their publication. So I've been really excited about that. Rosie's special gift has been international. She's gone international before I've been even international with this whole book experience, but there was a group in South Africa that was tied to my alma mater that was going down with some college students who are affiliated with the primary school down in South Africa. So yeah, a couple copies of the book for the students to read. Been to St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands. So it's really just about me sharing my story and continuing to be authentically myself. And people know that, yes, Veronica, she is a community advocate. She loves plants. She loves growing food. She's an author of a new children's book, but I'm also V, right? So they're like, V in all of her capacities, we want to be able to support her in this doing also. So I'm just really excited next and what's upcoming for Rosie and myself. So yeah, there are a few of the wins that I've experienced from the things that I've learned from you.
Amazing. And this is your first book.
It is my first book. Yes.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It's not even a year of it being out, right? So I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. It happened fast. I've done a lot of different appearances and different book tour events. And I'm just grateful. God is amazing. I'm just a vessel. God used me for your glory, in terms of other people seeing what's possible, other people seeing healing through my story. And then also little babies being able to see like an author that looks like you. And you can write a book too. So
yeah, it's definitely a huge factor with our students and children across the world. And Rosie has her passport. Does she have her passport? Because
listen, she gonna have to do something and grab it real quick. Be able to have it for 5 years. Babies get to keep theirs. Oh, differently than ours.
Yeah, that's amazing. I had heard some of that was new to me, but it's been incredible to watch her journey. And once again, just a testament to you using the strategies, implementing them, getting the results, sharing, and just being transparent, because that's really what people want to see. They want to be behind the scenes. They want to get a sneak peek. They want to know what's going on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you have a great support system too with your audience as well that you've built from your launch.
Yeah, it's crazy to me because it's like having spoken to so many of these people who decided to buy the book and like ages. There were people from grade school there. I was like, whoa, okay. I didn't even know that you were paying attention. You like my other stuff like here and there, but like it was amazing to just really see that people enjoy connecting with me in that way because I was doing it as a healing for myself. And I don't want to call it a project, but it was like, this is a healing journey for me. It's more than just about the book. When I saw that happening, I was like, okay, you are doing the same work that is your superpower, right? Your God-given gift of really empowering and impacting people to see what's possible. The subject matter is just different. Yeah. So it's really been a great journey so far. So working on book number 2.
Yes, that's incredible. I know Mom is proud of the journey as well. So, all right. So if you were to speak to someone who was on the fence about signing up for our services or getting a product from us, what would you say to them to let them know this is the best choice for their book?
I would say there's a couple different things that you should do to find value, right? And we talked about that a little bit earlier as we were speaking. See value in the free things that are being provided, right? If you are getting so much information from the free things that are posted on the blog and the free trainings that Shep Publishing House is doing and that Ashley is putting out there, and you are satisfied with that, just imagine what you are going to get when you make the investment in yourself to see the results that you want to see for you, right? So this is not just about Ashley feeling as though, oh, I need to get money, or I need to get all of these things from you as a client, because trust and believe there is a vetting process that is in place to ensure, that it's a right fit. But it's really important to invest in what it is that you want to see. So if you want to achieve a set goal that is a stretch goal for you, then you need to invest in the resources that are available to you to do that. And the free stuff is not going to get you to where you need to be and to stretch you beyond your comfort zone as an up and coming or new or even seasoned. And so I believe that if you want to see the results, then you invest in what the best options and the resources that are out there. And Ashley and Shep Publishing House is definitely that resource for you. And just as her students, we got the receipts. So if you need the receipts, we have them. She has them as well. One of the most genuine individuals that you will work with, who really cares about you as a person and will pay attention to what it is that you are sharing as goals, as setbacks, as things that you need to overcome, and will give you that gentle push that you need to get it done. So you will not go wrong working with Shep Publishing House.
You. Yes, I don't know. You've seen Mean Girls. I don't know if I forgot her name, but Tina Fey, she plays the teacher, and then she's like, I'm a pusher. I push people. And yes, I gently push people. I feel like I gently nudge them in the way that God wants them to go. I feel like people are sent to me by God, and that the Holy Spirit gives me downloads for things to say to people, because there's multiple times where I'll say something like, in my house earlier today, I just was reading my devotional, or I was talking to God about this, and then he sent you. And so I definitely do feel like the people that come to me are divine assignments, and I can't not take care of themselves or take care of them, because then it's trying to mess up my blessings, and I'm not trying to mess up the purpose that God has put me here on the earth for. And so thank you for recognizing that and allowing me to be obedient, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should say this, but no, I'm like, nope, I gotta say it. I gotta say it.
Like, ready for this video?
Hey, you want to be nice, or you want me to be intentional and purposeful? Like, do you want to hear what you need to hear, or do you want to hear a good job pat on the back? But I'm a lot of good jobs pat on the back, because you do what you need to do.
I'm like, no, give it to me straight. It was so funny when you was like, girl, if you don't order the pen, if you mess up on a signature, what you gonna do? I was like, oh yeah, put it aside and sign another one. Like, we get in our head in our own way so many times. It's like, I was like, okay, got the trill, Ashley, right there. I got it.
Respectful and nice, but I was like, yoga is probably like $5 to print, if that. And so if you mess up one, okay, it's practice, and then you won't mess up the other ones. And so yeah, we definitely do get in our heads. Like the trim size, I know I was stressing about what color spiral to put on my cookbook, like the white or the black. I'm like, I really like this, but I really like that. So it's definitely natural. Your book is your baby, and so it's yours. Just cultivating it takes time, and we get so attached to it. But we have to really realize that our book is for other people, because if we keep the book ourselves, then nobody's ever going to read it, and then it never gets out there and does what it needs to do. And so it's given to us to give away. I'm laughing at the trill, Ashley. Okay, every now and then you gotta toss it in there. So
you was in the inbox though, so I was like, all right.
I'm like, let's go. What we doing? So, okay. So what was one strategy or tip or something that you learned from us that you felt had the most impact for you?
I can't narrow it down to one.
Okay.
Launch piece was really a light bulb, because I was questioning in my head before, and as I was like author society kind of information that I needed, like learning perspective on, all right, so am I sharing too much? Are people going to be sick of this, right? Like, are people tired of seeing me post about the book? But going through the training for that, I was like, no, because it is my process. I am sharing it because I want to share it. And it happens to be helping other people as well. So it was affirmation that was needed that I didn't know that I needed, right? So just keep on doing that, right? I was doing it and sharing it mainly because I also wanted to like Facebook shows you those memories. I was like, I need those recordings. Like, I need to be able to see that progress at some point and be like, you did it, Veronica. You absolutely did it. So that was one thing. But then the tip and the strategy with the free ebook was great. Allowed for me to reach #1 best-selling status on my ebook. Came out. And it also allowed for me to gain a few more from individuals for my email marketing list. It provided people a sneak peek to see what the book was like before they got it physically into their hands.
Yep.
So I really appreciated that. And it gave me some leverage too, because of course there are hiccups throughout the process. And so it provided me an opportunity to still get the book to those who have pre-ordered it or wanted to, they have the choice to do so. That was really great for me. But I also really loved during the launch phase of like not only putting it out into Facebook world, but I was really intimate with my email subscribers, a process and what was going on. So many times they heard information first and they were the first to comment on something that I may have put on social media because they knew it already. So it was just a really great opportunity to build community, and just to get the results that I needed in terms of like
Okay. Yeah. Something a lot of authors sleep on or they don't know how to do it the right way. And if we really just take the time to invest in it, the rate of return is a lot higher than social media. So I'm glad that that's something you implemented, and actually reach your people because they'll be able to see your email in your inbox for future books too.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you'll get to a point where you're not so much in go mode and you kind of plateau, but you can coast a little bit more because the book ends up being its own marketing.
Yeah.
The way that it's written, the illustrations, how you've been able to speak at different places and things of that sort. And so it becomes its own like marketing situation. And then you can pull back a little bit if you need to focus on another book or just take a break if you need to as well. Because launching it's a lot.
It is a lot. Just a lot.
Yes. Okay. Last question over our time. What's your favorite part of working with Shep Publishing House or with me during our time together?
I love the personal touches. Love the opportunity to just speak freely and have an opportunity to be me, right? It not feel like, although it was, right? We know that it does not feel like a client provider relationship when we were interacting because it was like authentic even from your point of view. And when I work with people and invest in people's services and what they have to offer, I like to feel as though it is genuine and it's natural. It's not rehearsed. You're not telling me what I need or want to hear. You're telling me what I need to hear. Enjoy being coached. And so I really like your coaching style of the gentle nudges, straightforwardness, right? When that needs to happen as well. I'm a learner, right? And so the way that you provide information in a very centered approach, receive that a lot better than other approaches that coaches have when they are working with their students. So for the main things that I really enjoyed, great,
Yes, I try to keep it real, but not when keeping it real goes wrong, type keeping it real, but
right.
just in general of just understanding people are people and we got to give grace and it's pretty good. So I know some of my clients are like, oh, well, do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, but I also take breaks and sometimes I disappear and go recenter and refocus and journey as an entrepreneur of figuring out what works, what doesn't work, what's going to attract folks, what's going to repel folks. And so that can be a lot to try to be on all the time. And so I definitely want the coaching to be a safe space where you can just kind of like lay your hair down theoretically and just be like, okay, this and didn't work, or I'm so excited about this. Let me come tell you what happened.
Yep. You provide that space. It's very open, nimble, and I appreciate that.
Is there anything else that you felt like you wanted to share, or do you feel like you left it all on the dance floor? Is there anything else you need to?
I got it. Yeah, no, I don't have anything else.
Thank you.